Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Defub21 and as I always say, surprise surprise, we have another video game trailer. This one is a reveal trailer for what is certainly, considering my tastes, a pretty major franchise. It's Civilization, specifically Civilization 6. So without further ado, let's take a look and then I'll let you know what I think afterwards.
We are the explorers, the inventors, the architects of change, the builders of a better tomorrow. We strive, we dream, we inspire. Always towards something greater. All the odds we defy. The risks we take. The challenges we endure. Only make us stronger. There's no end to our imagination. And no limit to civilization.
Well, what can I say about this trailer? First and most obviously, for those who don't recognize the voiceover has been done by the actor known as Sean Bean. In the States, he'd be most probably well known as the guy who played Ned Stark in the first series of Game of Thrones. You'll have to watch that first season if you don't know what I'm talking about. I won't spoil it for you. It's not a CGI trailer. There's no in-game footage. It's clearly not CGI. It's basically kind of a collection. Well, you know, there's a bit of video editing obviously involved and so on, but it's basically a collection of stock video footage and stock images of historical events and sites and people kind of all put together and edited and all the rest. You know, there's obviously some probably CG work in there, but you get the idea. It's not a completely 100% computer generated trailer, basically, video or still images. Apparently this game is coming out the 21st of October and it's only now being announced. And you would think for a particularly big franchise like this, I mean, it is one of the juggernauts, one of the few juggernauts of kind of the turn-based strategy space. One would think that we would have heard of this earlier, but it is coming out October the 21st this year. I believe this is the first numbered Civilization game since Civ 5, well obviously because it's Civ 6, but I think the last one, Civ 5, came out 6 years ago, something along those lines. There's been Civilization Beyond Earth in the meantime and a multitude of expansion packs for Civilization 5, but so it's been quite some time since we last saw a Civilization game. Thoughts. Again, the one thing I would say just as in general, because again, this trailer doesn't give us much indication as to how this game is going to be different from the previous Civilization games. What I would say though is that if we're looking at trends for the year so far, E3 is barely a little over at this stage, a month away. I would be deeply shocked if we didn't get both more trailers and in-game footage at E3. I would also think that this is part of a trend I began to notice last year, that instead of the quiet before the storm, which tended to be the situation prior to E3, there'd be not just a week or two, but usually, you know, a good chunk of a month, where there'd be little to nothing in the way of new video games trailers and no new announcements of video games. Instead, last year we got a constant flow of stuff coming through, kind of taking advantage of the quiet time, as it were, or what should have been the quiet time before E3 to get ahead, announce a game, then reveal more information about the game at E3, or to get a trailer out there for a game or for a new game before it got shouted out by the din, as it were, the noise of E3. It's, it's, again, this seems to be, it may not, again, if it follows the path it did last year, we're going to see constantly new trailers and trailers for new trailers, both in reveal trailers and trailers for already announced games, leading all the way up to E3. It's going to be much busier trailer and announcement wise than it has been historically prior to in the kind of 4 to 5 weeks leading up to E3. So that's clearly a new change in things, how things are working. In terms of the game itself, again, we learned nothing. It's, that trailer could have just as been for Civilization 5 as it could be for 6. It doesn't tell us about any changes or changes or improvements that have been made. I have found one still image for the game, which I will put in to this video, so you'll be able to see it and peruse over it. Actually, I'll just put that image in. Well, I'll put it in a little bit. Actually, I'll look at it. Just give me a second here. Yes, it does seem, again, 6 years is a long time in video games, even for kind of turn-based ones that are not necessarily the most visually impressive of games. And this one the image does look quite good. Just in terms of its, production quality and art design and all the rest. It's been a while, good long while since I played Civ 5. So off the top of my head, I can't really think of, well, this looks different from that. There's no grid overlay to see if they made any changes there or anything else like that. But yeah, so far so good. Again, my assumption will be we'll see more at E3. Let me know your thoughts on this trailer. Let me know your thoughts and maybe even what things you're looking forward to at E3 in the comments. If you haven't already liked this video, please do so. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. This is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.